Hey guys, just checking the camera here, make sure and everything is straight, everything's cool. Okay, whoa, watch it there. All right, and first one in here is Wild Hop, so Wild Hops, and be right back. That's my mom. I'll be right back. Hello. Not much. I got my money in, and I used it, and I used half of that, and half of what I already had, and cable paid up. It's at zero. It was due today. Today was the due date, so I just did both with both cards. My prepaid in the bank. Yeah, and then my regular bank. Yeah. No. It was like, I think it was 342. I paid. I still have enough for both things. Altogether, about eight. About eight or so. Yeah. No. Yeah, it did. City Union and set up some CDN and political stuff. Yeah. Oh, pretty cool. Yeah. Yeah. No. No. Yeah. 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 Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right. It's fine. It's right here. It's laying down. Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's down the street. It's down the street near the Chevrolet. Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Be right back. I'm not sure if it's the one that goes in my car. I don't know why it looks like that. Let's see. Now this is something. This might be something else. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what that is. It's so bad. It is a one-use. I'll just have them put a new one in. I'm not gonna put it. Mom's on the phone. I'll be right back. Have them put it in. You know. I think that's the one. Why is it small? They put one in, and this is the other one. And I think it's the one. I'll have them look at it and see what's burnt out first. You know.
Yeah.
No, they can just look at it and I'll just tell them. I have one on the driver's side.
Yeah.
Okay, Brian. I'm just checking in with you.
All right.
Okay. What are you doing?
Nothing. No. I've got a lot on. Don't worry. Yeah. It's better to use an advertisement. That's all. Nope. November 13th. Okay, guys, I do apologize for that. My mom called me up. I had a feeling she was going to call me up during this. That's what I was going to tell you guys the moment I started the stream, that if I have to get up and I'm interrupted, it's because my mom called, and she usually just checks in on me once in a while. Even when I was working at Walmart, she would check up, she would check in on me when I would have a day off and she'd be working, because she'd want to know what's going on around here in the neighborhood. So yeah, didn't mean for that to happen, guys. It just came out of the blue. And I want to welcome Wild Hop, so I think had to take care of something, had to leave. Samuel, nice to see you in here. And Bugs, as he calls himself, nice to see you in here. Nice to see all you guys here in the live chat. And we're going to put this onto other parts of social media like Twitter and Facebook. And if you heard something right there, that's because we have squirrels and cats sometimes going on the roof. And it's been very windy today, believe it or not. So anyway, let me go over to the live thing here. Like I said, I do apologize for that, because again, my plan was basically coming on here, welcoming you guys, and then letting you know that if I have to get up because a phone call or something, well, there you go. But yeah, sorry about that. Things happen sometimes. I mean, I watch, to be honest with you, there are times that I'll watch Just Alex, formerly Deluxe Man, Alex's World, and Zara Nazarek, and there are times they will get interrupted themselves. That is no joke, guys. That right there is no joke. I've seen several times where their families have kind of interrupted them to talk with them or call them or whatever. So yeah, they've had numerous times to where they've been interrupted. Like I said, they've been there've been numerous times, what I'm trying to say, to where they've been interrupted while doing a live stream or a recording, and they've had, and like I can recall one time Zara Nizarak was doing an overview of the Sonic SatAM Complete Series box set, and several times in there he got, I think it was like once or twice, he got interrupted by the phone. He was like, and I think his reaction was like, "Oh, I just want to do a video, just want to get this video done," you know. So yeah, there were several times he got interrupted. There were numerous times that, you know, just Alex, the Lex man, he would get interrupted because, you know, when he's doing a live stream, like I think his cousin or his brother came into his room one time and asked him to help him out with something and apologized, like, "Oh, I didn't know you were doing this, you know." So yeah, there were numerous times to where I saw other people get interrupted, and you know, it's not always fun, but you know, it's just the way it is. Sometimes, you know, when you live with family, you know, family's going to always want to know what you're doing, and you know, even if you're off on off a certain day, and you know, getting ready to do, you know, off a certain day, and they're working, like I just mentioned with my mom and me, she'll call up. Sometimes she'll even, what's funny, she'll even call, like recently, earlier this year, she had to stay home because of what's going on, because they had to close down her site where she works, a school site, preschool site. And basically, there were times that she would call me on my cell phone here just to check up on me to see what I'm doing at work. Like she would look at, because what I would do is I would post my schedule on the fridge. So she'd be like, okay, this is probably when he's going to be at lunch. And since I'd have the phone on vibrate, I'd hear a vibration or some kind of notification a vibration, like it's ringing, or I'd hear that, or I'd get a notification vibe. And then I would notice, and oh, it's, you know, it's her. She's kind of trying to contact me. And so I would contact her back. I would call her back when I got a break or I was on lunch. So she always wants to make sure what's going on and everything. And now it looks like she's a little bit more supportive about what I'm going to be doing here, because of the fact, as I make sure the camera's okay here. Hold on, guys. There we go. But now she's even more supportive of the fact, as I check the camera, make sure okay. She's more supportive of the fact that I'm doing YouTube now, since I've explained to her that, oh, by the way, I can make money now. And it was the way I brought it up was just through a conversation, because there's things going on in our family at times that you know, financially, to where you ask, okay, how is this person going to make money if they don't commit to staying on something or whatever, or if they just they don't do this or they don't do that, things like, you know, things of that nature. And you know, it's one of those situations to where you know, it just, like I said, it just came up in conversation is what it did. Just came up in conversation, and she was cool with it. She's cool with it. I mean, basically, when I explained to her, I think when I told her that, yeah, I'm at this certain amount right now, and that it takes time, it builds up over time, because YouTube is a lot more different than like a regular job, because you end up getting paid, hey, through a monthly kind of thing, unless you do decide to go weekly, but it's mostly monthly. So yeah, you know, that's why basically, you know, I you know, that's why I got up immediately as soon as I started to stream, and all of a sudden, boom, you know, the phone rang. It's because she's, you know, she's checking up on me, making sure things are good. You know, that there's nothing, you know, going on or anything, you know, that shouldn't be. Now, just to let you guys in on what's been going on as well. And by the way, if you wanted to donate super chats, have any kind of financial donation, you want to do that, super chats are indeed open right now. So yeah, and this is the second time I've done a live stream with super chats involved, because, you know, originally, before I monetized my channel, I never had that option until now. So if you want to donate, go ahead. If you feel like it, you know, it's up to you. But anyway, yeah, you know, coming on here. But anyway, like I was saying, you know, a lot, you know, just, you know, you know, basically, I do apologize for that happening because, again, it's just, kind of throws you off a little bit, but you have to understand why, family does that at times. And I'm sure a lot of you do. Now, to let you in on what's going on, a little bit of a vlog, a little bit of an update. You probably notice in the back something a little different. Like you might notice there's something on the wall, if you will, which is right there. That speaker I used to have on the wall, but then all of a sudden I placed it where the rainbow dash is. I don't know if you can really see rainbow or anything. Let me take down these ladies for a second. I don't know if you can really see her now. Hold on. Give you a better look. Hopefully you can see it a little bit better. Yeah. Yeah, if you see where my finger's pointing right there, that rainbow dash. Well, a little bit of story. A little bit of story on that, guys. A little bit of a story. Basically, I used to have that rainbow dash back there, over here. Oh, on this section, not on this shelf, but on the shelf right next to it. And in fact, let me show you. Hopefully, I can do this without messing things up. But this shelf right here, I used to have that rainbow dash on right there. And now, like I said, I have it right over there, as you could probably see just a little bit better. And the reason I moved it basically is because over the weekend I decided to finally just try to reapply, try to kind of hang back up the speakers. So like, for example, right there, I have one of my other speakers that used to be right here. It used to be basically right where that little CD thing is. I think you can see it, that little CD case. It used to be right there. And then the other one right there used to be behind that figure right there. It used to be behind that Griffin Pegasus figure. It used to be right behind the Mini, the Google Mini. It used to be behind there. And then this, the center one, the center speaker, I don't know if you can see it while I'm pointing, used to be up there. And then that one right there where the airship is, well, it used to be on this side. It actually used to be right there where, well, actually the airship one, well, actually the speaker there right next to the airship used to be right there. But again, what I decided to do is I wanted to hang them back up. And basically I tried hanging it up where the gadget figure is. Basically I used to have the Daring Do figure, which I now have over here. I have the Daring Do figure right there. So basically, long story short, I tried to hang the speaker in place of the Daring Do figure, and it looked like it was doing okay. It looked like it was fine for a bit, if you will. It looked like it was okay for a bit. As I make sure everything is adjusted here. Hold on. It looked like it was okay for a bit. Hold on, guys. Well, like I said, it looked like it was okay for a bit. And basically what happened, long story short, because just that right there, perfect. Make sure. All right. Hold on for a sec. Okay. But like I said, basically what happened was like I said, I tried hanging them back up. And what occurred was the fact that, let me see if I have them up here still. The fact that I had these command strips right here. And because basically, and again, to get to the point I'm trying to say, what happened is everything else, all the other speakers that I just showed you seem to be all right. They seem to be in place for now. But the one where I hung it up, but the one But that one speaker near the airship that I hung up in place of the Daring Do figure, which I placed over here, basically what happened is I was playing Soul Calibur 6. And I don't know if it's the vibration of the sound coming out of the speakers or something. But what happened is basically the speaker fell. It was I was doing a battle between two created fighters that I made. And it was during one of the movements, one of the victory, and it was basically, I think, at the end of one of the rounds, if you will. And then all of a sudden, the speaker just fell. Now, I did have the window open a little bit, and just like today, it was a little windy. It's a lot more windier today, but just by a little bit. But it was still a little windy. So my thought is either the wind knocked it down, either that was like a light gust, and it just was enough to move the house or move certain parts of the house to where it could be felt in certain areas, and that's what caused the speaker to fall. Or what happened is, like I said, the vibration of the volume caused it to shake and then fall. I don't know. Or either there was a shift in the earth movement. There was a shift in the earth movement, because we all know that, because a lot of us that have houses that are on the ground, that live in houses like this one, we know that sometimes the earth beneath it will shift, and it'll cause a little bit of a will shift, even if it's unnoticeable. Even if it's unnoticeable, it will shift, and it will cause maybe something to happen, like something to fall down. Even though it'll catch you by surprise, you'll be wondering what just happened, knowing that maybe there's no wind gust or whatever. And then that's when it'll probably dawn on you that the earth maybe just did a little bit of a shift, and that's what caused the thing to fall. And anyway, what happened is, like as I'm trying to get to the point here, the speaker on this end here fell, on this side here, fell, and basically, because I have the airship right there, it caused the airship to fall and break apart. I had to put it back together. It caused the figures on the airship to fall out. It caused some things to fall into the back of the shelves that I had to grab and get, from the back there, like certain parts and figures. It caused my Mod Pi figure to fall. Yeah. It caused one of the most popular characters in the show's Funko figure to fall. And what's crazy is when some of the stuff fell off the shelf, some of it fell over to this. It's like, okay, here's the shelf, right? And everything came tumbling down. And some of the stuff went over to the other side next to my game consoles, like for example, the Mod Pi figure did. And then some others just, like I said, scattered about. Thankfully, I was able to get it back, able to get most of everything back together, and pieced back together, stuff like that. But I had a feel. I don't know why, but I had a feeling that it was going to probably do that, and it did. I just didn't think it would do it on the day that I put it back. I put it up there. But again, it could be several reasons. Like I said, a little bit of gust of wind came through, kind of shook, kind of vibrated throughout parts of the house, and that's what caused it. The vibration of the volume of the game during certain times in the match that I was playing, caused it. Or either most likely there was a shift in the Earth's movement, and that was probably it too. Another thing I could probably think of is, like I said, you heard it. We have squirrels and cats that like to go on top of the roof, and maybe there was some kind of vibration that came from that. I don't know. But it's not the first time a lot of stuff has fell. It's not the first time speakers that I have here have fallen. My mom even told me one time when I was at work, one of the speakers, like this one that I just pointed at here, it fell. And she's like, I don't know what that was. I heard something fall. So I went, when I came home from work and I saw what it was, I was like, yep, the command strip let loose. And I've noticed that lately too, that even with these, the wind can knock them down, a little bit of a breeze. It can knock them down and you have to put them back up. But also notice that the command strips, they do wear down over time, because sometimes I'm hearing certain things like I'm thinking it's something getting ready to come loose, and what it is it's the moisture on the strips that is loosening and it's causing the pictures to fall. For example, I've used these recently to post up some pictures of posters, like the Sat AM poster there, like the Sat AM poster over here, or the My Little Pony movie poster, or even this one, or even, well, you can't really see it, but you get the idea. Heck, I used command strips on that Luna thing right there, on that Luna picture. And again, I notice sometimes things are falling. They're just starting to fall. In fact, I used command strips, not command strips, but Post-its, and even a command strip on those, and sometimes they fall. I think, again, it's just moisture, and sometimes it's the earth shifting under the house that causes some things. And then also you got the little rodential thing going on with the squirrels and stuff. And then, of course, like sometimes you have the window open, there's a breeze, stuff like that. So it's just one of those situations. But anyway, besides that, that's mainly one of the bigger changes I did, mainly because of the fact that my plan is to get a 4K TV, not a big one, but the 32-inch. And I'm pretty much on the verge of doing that. What I did today, basically, is I paid off the cable, because one of the things a lot of us probably know more than anything is if you have cable or any kind of television like bill, whether it's streaming or whatever, you want to try to pay that off. You want to try to pay that to be up to date. Well, because I lost my job, we were behind a little bit, and for some odd reason, we were always behind. And mostly that's on me too, because I should have just kept up with it. Well, thankfully, thank the Lord, finances have come in just enough on both ends of the spectrum, if you will. My ex job and the 401k plan they had with it, and then of course the unemployment, the EDD. That, thank God, thank the Lord above, I was able to today pay off the entire cable bill to where now it's exactly where my mom wants to see it. It's at zero. It's no longer just like half of it paid and then half of it's lingering in the background, still needing to be paid. No, it's paid. It's done. So I figured as a bit of a reward to myself and everything I've gone through over the past few months, if not this past year, I'm finally just going to go out and get myself a 4K TV, a 32-inch QLED 4K TV by Samsung. I'm going to get that because pretty much I feel that, I've earned it. I didn't expect, to lose my job the way I did. I mean, honestly, everybody still feels that it could have kind of, well, here's the thing. They do agree that, I shouldn't have did what I did, but they do agree that a punishment like suspension would have been more appropriate than just letting me go, all because of taking a drink like a soda like this. Well, this is water, but a soda like this without paying for it. And I know that's wrong. I know people would say that's still wrong, but come on. We're talking about Walmart, where I used to work. Walmart is not, identified as one of the leading retail giants in the world, if not the leading retail giant in the world, and if not in the country. You would think they have enough money to, salvage, losing something like this. I mean, working there for 6.5 years, again, I've talked about this many times before. We've lost more financially than just this, than something like this, honestly. But with that said, I just decided, I'm going to finally do this. I've had plans to get one this year anyway, but the plans would have put it like right here in the center. But I decided, what? Looking at the measurements that I'll put up on Amazon for this, it'll fit right where my other TV is. And then the plan is to take this TV, put it in the guest room / rec room or recreation room, whatever you want to call it, and then take the monitor that's in there and then save that for my mom, because she's going to have to start getting on the computer a lot more and more along the lines, being, like in front of a camera like this to see what's going on. I may even have to allow her to borrow this camera or go out and buy another camera mic for her as well. So It's going to be an interesting experiment. I'll tell you that. But I'm looking forward to this. I really am. With that said, though, let's get on to. I know I've been talking about a half hour, but just wanted to keep you guys up to date what's going on. And again, I do apologize for the interruption at the beginning. But now, with that said, with that all out of the way, let's get into our topics for today. I know we're about 30 minutes in, a half hour in. I do apologize again. Just need to get some stuff off my chest and let you know what's been going on as well, and probably what's to come. So, the topics we're going to talk about today are, first topic, should we believe the presidential polls? We'll talk about that because there's various views on that, I'm sure of. Number 2, speaking of 4K TVs, could we get smaller 4K TVs in the future? We'll talk about that. Number 3, we will talk about who will be the next victim of the streaming wars. And number 4, we're talking about the original cast of characters from My Little Pony Friendship is Magic to appear in the MLP G5 movie, or in the MLP G5 movie. We'll talk about that. Number 5, we'll talk about 2021 being the return of Saturday morning cartoons. And then number 6, we will talk about, are people getting used to VOD releases of movies and thus perhaps dooming the movie theater business? We'll talk about all that. So, without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, woo! Sorry about that. Drank that a little too fast. Sorry about that. Drank that a little too fast. Woo! Sorry. Anyway, let's talk about our first topic here. And that is, should we believe the presidential polls? Now, the reason I want to start out with this topic is because, hold on for a sec. It's a portfolio, people. Again, I don't know what they want. Anyway, getting back on topic here. Sorry for the interruptions. Again, number 1, should we believe the presidential polls? The reason I want to start off with this is because, as you probably have noticed as of late, a lot of places from online, like The Hill, The Washington Post, the Chicago Tribune, places like that, along with CBS News, ABC, CNN, Fox, whatever you want to call them, everybody's been talking about what the polls say, where the polls stand as far as who potentially looks like they're going to win the presidential race. And what's funny about this is that not even the presidential nominees, the president himself and Biden, well, I'm not sure much about Biden, but those that support him, I will say that, do not believe the polls. They do not trust the polls. Why? I'll tell you why. Because the one thing I think what was it, Chicago Tribune did bring up talking about this today. They said that basically, even though the polls look like they could be legit now, 4 years ago that wasn't the case. I mean, even Trump brought it up in one of his campaign speeches. He said, "Look at 2016. They thought I was out. They thought I wouldn't win, but lo and behold, I did." Excuse me. So that right there, when you have, the president himself, people that support him, people that support Biden, coming out and saying, I don't trust the polls, don't believe the polls. The question now remains, should we? And quite honestly, I'm in agreement with not just the president and those that are in his campaign party and everybody that supports him, but believe it or not, I'm in agreement with those that support Biden and any other candidates that feel the same way. Because it's like, literally, when have the polls been right? Because we have to remember one thing. Just because I know I just went sounded like I did a roadrunner there, didn't I? But anyway, just because people are going out and voting early because of what's been going on in the world and everything, and what the media is spewing out there with, oh, there's new cases, new hospitalizations, da 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 da. Just because people are going out and voting early doesn't mean, the presidential race is going to swing one way or the other. Again, Trump, and not just Trump, but Trump mentioned people said he was out and about. He was down and out in 2016, and look what happened. The same, and even those on the Democratic side of things have agreed that, yeah, we thought Trump was down and out in 2016, and he came back and ended up winning. So here's the thing. Even though people are out there voting early, and apparently, according to certain media, there are thousands among millions of people voting. Da, 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 da. It doesn't mean anything yet until election day. Yeah, it doesn't mean anything yet till election day. And you know why? You know why it doesn't mean anything till election day? Because election day is when everybody, and I mean everybody, comes out and votes. I'm not lying. I am not lying. Election day is usually the day where it really counts. You see, people are going out and voting early now because of the fact that, like I said, things are going on in the world, and they're not sure if any of the places they can go vote to are going to be open because of what's happening. So that's the thing right there. That's the thing right there. Just because, people are going out and voting early because they're not sure what's going to happen next, it doesn't mean, the polls, it doesn't mean that it's going to be, what I'm trying to say is it doesn't mean the polls are indicating correctly that things are swinging one way or the other. It doesn't mean Biden's got a 3.6 point lead. It doesn't mean Trump has a 5.6 point lead. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter in any of these areas, okay? It really doesn't matter. Because what matters is election night, election day and night, the day before, the day of, the weekend before. That's what's really going to matter. Because that's when the truth is going to be revealed. Now, here's the thing that people have to keep in mind. As we grow closer to the election, as we grow closer to it, more news outlets are going to try to favor one candidate over the other. More news outlets, televised wise and online, are going to do whatever they can to make things look more favorable for one or the other. But here's the thing. At the end of the day, what really matters is the day of election. That day is the be-all, end-all. And believe it or not, both candidates are going to come out swinging on that day. They're going to try to do whatever they can to make the other look bad. And as crazy as it sounds, like my mom would say, God has a reason for everything happening in a certain way. I thought about this. If Trump wins re-election and things get more favorable for Republican-wise, then what's the reaction going to be by the people? Is it going to be positive, mixed, negative? Who knows? But if Biden wins and everything goes democratical, is it going to be the same way? Who knows? Who knows what side of the fence things are going to fall on? You know what I'm saying? Excuse me. Again, who knows what side of who knows what side of the fence things are going to fall on? I mean, everybody has the reasoning to favor somebody else, so one candidate over the other. And we're just going to have to let God be the ultimate deciding factor as to who he wants to be leading this country. Because in the end, the truth will be revealed. If it's revealed, and if it's revealed that Trump's going to be here for another 4 years, then whether we like it or not, that's what's going to happen. If it's revealed that Biden's going to be here for 4 years, then that's what's going to happen. But here's what makes people suspicious about both. Both have something, both apparently, in the eyes of a lot of people, are hiding the truths. You have all these undecided voters out there, apparently, that don't know which side to vote on because they're hearing all these different stories about Trump and him hiding this and him not, him hiding this and him not bringing out his taxes and da da da. But then on the other hand, you have them hearing, about Biden and how his son's involved with Russia and China and how he could be involved and all that. It's just one of those. It's basically one of those situations to where you're darned if you do and you're darned if you don't. We'll put it that way. I mean, whether we want to admit it or not, we're going to basically, at the end of the day, have a controversial figure in there as president, no matter what. No matter what, we're going to have a controversial figure in there as president. And some people may not, and let's say Biden gets in, there are going to be people from Fox News to YouTube to Facebook to Twitter to even places like CNN and NBC and all that. They're going to come out and say, we just got screwed. Because a lot of them have seen, if not will, basically bring up the fact that the reason Biden's in office is mainly for the fact that he's going to get impeached. He's going to get impeached so that they can get Kamala Harris in as president, and Nancy Pelosi and those that side with her and help to get that first impeachment on Trump, up and running, are going to finally get what they want, and that's a woman president in office. And it's like, really? You're so desperate to get a woman president that you're willing to have people elect somebody that other outlets out there have reported may not be suited for the job because of the way he, mannerizes himself, the way he stumbles over his words, the way he's trying to avoid this and that. You want to elect him just so you could use him as a patsy to get Kamala Harris in. That's how people will view it, if Biden wins. Now, as far as Trump goes, some will view it like, oh, great. So we got another 4 years of this corrupt son of a gun. We got another 4 years of this guy that basically insults this person, belittles that person, belittles this person, whatever. Again, it's a darned if you do and it's a darned if you don't. It's a win-win. It's a win-lose, win. It's a win-lose, lose-win situation. That's what it is. And again, going back to the polls, the polls could say it's swinging one way or the other. They don't mean anything. At the end of the day, it's the people that vote that mean something. It's the people that vote that have the final say. And everybody knows that come election day is going to be when it really, really matters. And that's the truth. It's going to be the day that things really matter. And You could disagree with that. You could agree with that all. You could disagree or agree with that all you want. But think about it. You have all these news outlets online and visually coming out and saying, "Oh, we had record numbers of voters voting early today." Do you honestly believe that? Or do you believe the fact that a lot of the voters are just biding their time to election day to come out and let the vote be heard? It makes you wonder. It makes you think, huh? But yeah, the polls, again, should we believe them? If you have Trump and the supporters of Trump and people in his campaign saying don't believe him, because they said one thing one time and it proved to be wrong. And then you have, people that support Biden and in Biden's camp saying the same thing, then I think we have to agree with all. And I think it's an overall agreement that, yeah, we can't believe the polls because honestly, the polls probably are just created to show, in my opinion, favoritism one way or the other. So, and honestly, I don't think we should believe them. And that's just my opinion. It's just my opinion on that one. So anyway, that's we're done there. Now moving on to topic number 2. And our second topic is, could we get smaller 4K TVs in the future? Okay, so as I mentioned at the beginning of this topic on my video or live stream, basically I have plans, hopefully by next week, to have a 32-inch Samsung QLED TV, 4K, that is, in my possession. And honestly, folks, I've always believed that I've always felt, I should say, that there were smaller 4K TVs out there. They're just not heavily advertised as the big ones. They're not heavily advertised like a 50-inch or a 44-inch or 60-inch or 70-inch. But they're there. Come on. If companies can come out and produce and distribute and sell retail-wise and online 24-inch 4K IPS monitors, then I think they could sell and distribute retail-wise and online smaller 4K TVs. Because again, if you're going to sell a 24-inch monitor that's 4K for your computer or whatever, gaming, movies, whatever, then you should be able to sell and distribute a smaller 4K television that could fit any room. And for me, that's exactly what this thing's going to do. Now, you might say, well, how do you know it's going to do that? How do you know it's going to be fittable? Because I look at the feet distance, the feet ratio, if you will. And the feet measure exactly right into where I need it. And the only reason that it gets sold as 32-inch is because of the screen. Because of the screen. That's why. That's why. It's basically the screen that they sell you on, not the outboarder or anything like that. It's the screen. The screen is what they sell you the product on. Okay? That's what they sell it on to you. That's what they sell it on. And honestly, the leg width, I don't know if you could see that very well. Maybe if it dims down a little bit. Let me dim the light a little bit. There we go. Maybe you can see that a little bit better. Maybe not. Come on, get in there. But anyway, what I'm trying to say is the feet, if you will, actually measure at 25.5 width. And there's a 28.5 width on the top. Now, diagonally, it's 6.1 or 6.1 inches, if you will. Horizontally, it's about 16 by 6 height, if not, and that's just the screen and the border around it. With the legs, it's at 18 height, and that's actually pretty good. That's actually pretty good. And again, I don't know if you could really read that. I don't know if that's a dim a little bit, but anyway, the TV without the stand is 28.5 by 16 by 6 by 1.2. With the stand, it's 25 by 5, and there you go. Maybe you can see that better. But like I said, it's TV with stand is 28.5 by 18 by 9 by 6.1. Now you might say, well, is that big enough? Oh, it's big. It's big. And like I said, it's a QLED. It's a QLED television. That's what it is. It's a QLED. There you go. You can see a little better. Yeah, but it's a QLED. And it's a 32-inch. It's small. And I've seen people with the pictures they've shown, have it in areas that look like it shouldn't fit, but it does, just barely. So when you have to move it around, you got to be careful. But again, getting back on the subject here, could we see smaller 4K TVs in the future? And I think we can. I think we will. Most definitely, because like I said, if you have Samsung coming out and bringing this out, and it's 32 inches, then there's no doubt they can do smaller. Because like I said, what's the point of companies like Samsung, LG, Philips, Vizio? What's the point of them creating these smaller monitors, that have 4K within them at 24 inches to 27 inches if there wasn't a chance that they could do smaller 4K TVs? I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Because to me, it is possible. It is definitely possible, in my opinion. Because, now when I thought about because I thought about this for a while. When I first thought, okay, it is possible for 4K televisions to be small. But as I thought about it, I also realized, okay, the bigger 4Ks are going down in price at times, depending on what kind of brand or what kind of size. Like there are 43 inches and 50 inches that are going down into the 250 range. So I thought about this again. So again, I thought about this, and I thought to myself, well, if the bigger ones are going down in price, and if there's ever an intention of doing smaller ones, the smaller ones are going to go up, or going to be a little bit more. And believe it or not, that's just a sample of what I'm talking about. That's just a sample, of what I'm talking about, because of the fact that, you basically, if you're a company that's creating these things, distributing these things, then you're putting a lot more effort into compacting this, all the elements of a 4K television into a smaller package. Now, true, the 4K picture on there apparently is 3840 by 2160, which is still 4K. But besides that, it's still, you're taking all those components and you're compacting them in. But to me, once I get one, it's going to be worth it, because I already have it in my mind exactly what I plan to do. And that plan is to basically put my TV in that guest room, keep the monitor at the side so my mom could use it for her video things if she has to, video conferencing, Zooms, whatever, for her job, and then have the 4K in my room. And if anything comes up, hopefully this YouTube thing works out in the end, and I believe it will. God wouldn't let me have this opportunity if it wasn't going to. It works out in the end. I think I'll be okay. I think I'll be fine in the end. But yeah, I honestly believe that we could and probably will get smaller 4K TVs out there, because you can't tell me Samsung's not going to see the success this one's going to have and be like, hey, we can build off that. We can actually do more with that. Maybe we could take it a step smaller. You can't tell me they ain't thinking about that, if not already got that in mind, if not already got that in motion at the factories. And the same could be said for Vizio, LG, Philips. I'm just saying they see this and they're like, you know what? We're gonna get a piece of that pie too. So yeah, I honestly believe we could get smaller 4K TVs. Will it take time? Absolutely, it'll take time. But it'll be worth the wait, in my opinion. It'll definitely be worth the wait. So anyway, though, that's what I believe. And yes, I do feel we will get 4K TV, smaller 4K TVs in the future. And this 30-inch one, in my opinion, is just the beginning. But let me know what your thoughts are on that. All right, so moving on to topic number 3. We have moving on to topic number 3. The question is, who will be the next victim of the streaming wars? Now, in case you guys don't know, Quibi, it's a Q-U-I-B-I, Quibi, which was a creation of Jeffrey Katzenberg, or an idea of Jeffrey Katzenberg. Quibi, 6 months after its debut, is shutting down at the end of the year because it didn't meet its subscription quota. Yeah, Jeffrey Katzenberg's little experiment in streaming experiment is shutting down. Now, a lot of people already figured that Quibi would not last long because of what was being promoted about it. And what was being promoted was you would get to watch 10 to 15-minute clips of programming, a day or whatever it was. It would be 10 to 15 minutes of programming a week or a day. I think it was a week or a month, depending on what kind of programming it was. And then you had to wait till the next week to get the next part. It was basically what Quibi was, basically what Jeffrey was doing was he was trying to experiment with a modernized version, in my opinion, of serial storytelling. Basically like, okay, here's the first 10, 15 minutes. But to enjoy the rest of it, you got to tune in next week or the next day or whatever. And obviously that didn't sit very well with a lot of people, that the subscription count did not reach the quota it was supposed to reach. And obviously, Jeffrey Katzenberg was losing a lot of money off this. Let's see, who's the company behind them? Let me check. Let me check here. Let me look at Wikipedia for a second. Okay, let's see here. Okay, so Quibi, according to Wikipedia, Quibi was or going in that direction of was an over-the-top American short-form streaming platform that generates content for viewing on mobile devices. It was founded in August 2018 in Los Angeles as New TV by Jeffrey Katzenberg and is led by Meg Whitman, its CEO. It launched in April of this year. In October of this year, which was basically 5 days ago, 6 months after its launch, Katzenberg announced the platform would shut down around December 1st. after falling well short of its subscriber projections. So yeah, it didn't do exactly very well. So anyway, excuse me. Anyway, basically, this is what it was. Quibi, according to Wikipedia, I'm trying to get it. The service targeted a young demographic with content delivered in 10-minute episodes called Quick Bites, with the name Quibi derived from Quick Bites. That's QUI-CK and BI-TES. So basically, it says here in 2018, Quibi raised $1 billion in funding from major Hollywood film TV studios, companies, telecommunication. Okay, it said in 2018, Quibi raised $1 billion in funding from major Hollywood film studios, TV companies, telecommunication companies, technology companies, banks, and other investors, including, get this, Walt Disney Company, 21st Century Fox, NBC Universal, Sony Pictures, Time Warner, Viacom, E1, Lionsgate, MGM, Madaron Capital, Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan Chase, Alibi Group, Liberty Global, and ITV. So yeah. Basically, Quibi's main thing was to let's see. See what it says here. Yeah, it was financial. Basically, that's why they're shutting it down, because it would have cost them a lot more money. And so basically, and it's also like, okay, this is what Katzenberg said. This is what he said to Deadline Hollywood. This is what Katzenberg says, according to Wikipedia. There was no question, this is Katzenberg, there was no question that keeping us going was not going to have a different outcome. It was going to spend a whole lot more money without any value to show for it. So out of respect for these people that put up this extraordinary amount of capital to do it, that's irresponsible, and we both felt we shouldn't do it. Now, it also says that in the same interview, Katzenberg cited the unfortunate timing of the launch during the pandemic as a contributing factor. It says here, at the time of this announcement, Quibi had approximately 500,000 subscribers. That's big. Now, what the big deal about this is, and they even mentioned it here, what is the future of some existing, upcoming, and planned original programming? Well, my thought process is a lot of these programs are going to be sold off to other distributors, other streaming and on-air distributors. Basically, this is what I think is going to happen. So let me look up the programming. So far they had these dramas. They had Most Dangerous Game, Survive, When the Streetlights Go On, 50 States of Fright, hashtag Free Rayshawn, The Stranger, Don't Look Deeper, The Fugitive, Wireless, and The Expecting. Okay, so Most Dangerous Game got renewed. Here's what I think is going to happen. Most Dangerous Game will probably end up since it's an action thriller, will probably end up on CBS as a full series, 1 hour series. They're going to have to get used to that, if not already. Okay, so that's what I think their destination is. Survive, I think, is going to end up on HBO. HBO Max is going to probably get that one. When the Street Lights Go On, I think will probably end up on ABC. 50 States of Fright, I think is going to end up most likely on HBO Max. Hashtag Free Ray Sean, I think will end up on NBC. I think The Stranger will end up on Hulu. Don't Look Deeper, I think will go to CBS All Access. The Fugitive, I think Fox will pick that up. Wireless, I think that will also go to Fox. And the Expecting, I expect to go to Showtime. So that's why I think those might end up. Again, I might be wrong, but I could be right. But yeah, I expect a lot of those to go to those areas. You notice I didn't mention Netflix yet. Doesn't mean Netflix is out of the park yet, because they're still there. In fact, I think I see some shows here just by their names where I think they could end up. So Flipped, I think, because it's pending, Flipped will go to Netflix. Agua Donkeys, I think that's AGUA, Agua Donkeys, I think will end up on Hulu. Dummy, I think will go to Amazon Prime. Home Movie, The Princess Bride, I think will go to Netflix. Die Hard, I think will go to Netflix. And Mapleworth Murders, I think will go to Amazon. And Royalties, I think will go to Hulu. These documentaries I don't know about. Those are kind of questionable. But the ones awaiting release that are now going to have to go to someplace else. Slugfest, I think, going to Netflix. And 10 Weeks, I think, also going to Netflix as well. I think Netflix will pick those up. Reality-wise, I don't really know. See, I don't see anything of that. About that one. Reno 911 season 7, I could see that going right back to Comedy Central. They'll pick that back up. Athletes After Hours, I think that'll go to that might go to Hulu. So I could see that. See, formally announced original programming. Yeah, I could see Aftermath going to Netflix. I could see Charlemagne going to HBO Max. Crazy Talented, I could see going to Hulu. Cures-R, I could see going to Hulu. Ice Cream Man, I think I could see going to Netflix. Last American Vampire, I think going to HBO. Spielberg's After Dark, I think will go to Amazon Prime. Swimming with Sharks, I think will go to Amazon Prime. Tori, I think that will probably go to HBO Max. Toys, I think will go to Netflix. Transmissions, I think will go to CW. Wolves and Villagers, I think will go to CW. And then we have a couple of untitled projects that going to be, I think those will all go, which is an Untitled Code 8, Dexter Fletcher, and Ice Cube series, all separate ones, that is. I think we'll end up probably going to Netflix as well. So, yeah, a bunch of these I think will probably, mainly I think a bunch of these are going to find different homes as well. So I think that's what's going to happen. Animation wise, this is what's really interesting to me because you got adult animation here. So we got Gloop World, which was a series that came out this year, was supposed to anyway. I think that'll end up on Cartoon Network, if not on Netflix. Filthy Animals, I think, will end up on Hulu, possibly. Father Mucker. Sorry if I pronounced that wrong, and I hope that I don't get demonetized for that. But I think that'll end up on Comedy Central. Micro Mayhem, I think, will end up on Amazon. And Thrill League, I think, will end up on Amazon as well. So yeah, I definitely see a lot of these probably. And thank you for the compliment there, Johnny. Nice to see you in the comments. And again, guys, super chats are on if you want to donate there. Up to you. But yeah, those are just some series. Some of the now, most of those series that were on Quibi, I think will find homes, and especially like I said, the ones that I just mentioned. I think they'll end up possibly in the areas that I just mentioned. I just brought up, like the channels and streaming services and stuff like that. So I see them ending up in those areas. Now, I could be wrong. Some that I said could go to one place or another, could end up going to a different service, but I do expect them to be picked up one way or the other. Anyway, though, guys, what does this have to do with the subject of who will be the next victim of the streaming wars? Well, I think the next victim, in my opinion, especially after they made the announcement that they did this past week, or made it official, because people are wondering, hey, where's the special we usually watch every year with our family and with our kids that we've watched since we were kids? Where is it? Why isn't it here? And honestly, folks, as I look it up here, like I was saying, after the decision they made, after the official announcement they made this week, I think this is really what's going to hurt them. I mean, I know they've got more content than Quibi did. They're trying to build themselves up as a powerhouse. But if they make decisions like what they did this past week, it's not going to make them look good. And what I'm talking about is Apple TV, and mostly Apple TV Plus, and how I feel Apple TV Plus, and I say this with all due respect, they have some good content, apparently. They're trying to build a library, like I said. But I think Apple TV Plus will be the next victim. I really believe that. Now, again, I'm not trying to say they don't have some good programming. Matter of fact, I'm going to look at it right now. They have, from what I can tell. They have For All Mankind, The Morning Show, C. These 3 series got renewed. These are drama series. They got Servant. They got Truth Be Told, Amazing Stories, Home Before Dark, Defending Jacob. And those 2, Amazing, Truth Be Told and Home Before Dark, all got renewed. Let's see. You have Dickinson. You have Ghost Rider. You have Little America, renewed. Mythical Crest, Raven's Banquet, renewed. Trying, renewed. Little Voice, renewed. Ted Lasso, renewed. So they got some decent programming here. Central Park, renewed, and that's an adult animation series. Snoopy in Space, renewed. Doug Unplugs, it's pending. Stillwater, impending. The Snoopy Show, pending, but they're all scheduled for release in the next several months. You know, you got unscripted docuseries on here. You got variety shows like Oprah's book club. You know, Helpsters, Oprah Talks the Virus. Fraggle Rock On. Helpsters Help You, the Oprah Conversation. They got feature films like Hala, Hala, The Banker, Greyhound, On the Rocks, and then upcoming Wolf Walkers, which looks good. They have specials like Here We Are, Notes for Living on Planet Earth. And then upcoming, they've ordered these according to upcoming original programming. Losing Alice. They have an untitled Oprah Winfrey Prince Harry mental health docuseries. Foundation. The After Party. Calls. Earth Sound. Echo 3. El Gato. I'm just going to go that way. The Excess Serpent. 5 Days at Memorial. Fraggle Rock. Harriet the Spy. And that's an animation. Haiti Lammer. High Desert. Invasion. Leslie's Story. Masters of the Air. The Mosquito Coast. My Glory Was I Held Such Friends. My Kind of Country. Pacino. Physical. Prehistoric Planet. Surveillance, I think. Shataram. Shining Girls. The Shrink Next Door. Slow Horses. The Supermodels. Suspicions. Swagger, I think. Untitled docuseries. Untitled Brie Larson CIA series. Untitled Chelsea Strong comedy series. Untitled Damien Chazelle drama series. So they got a lot of stuff upcoming. You know, in development, they have Exploitations. They have Losing Earth. They have Mr. Corman, My Ex-Life, Time Bandits. Untitled Colin McGinnis series. Untitled Rami Youssef Stephen Way series. Untitled series based on the story of WeWork. Untitled The Custom of the Country adaptation. And then they got upcoming movies like Cherry, Bride, A Christmas Carol, Anticipation, Killers of the Flower Moon, Palmer, The Sky is Everywhere, Sharper, Snowblind, Swan Song. And then you have Billie English, The World's Little Blurry, or Billie Eilish. And I think it's Billie Eilish, The World's a Little Blurry, The Velvet Underground, Untitled Peanuts 70th Anniversary Documentary. And you can't tell me people wouldn't like to see that. Specials, Mariah Carey's Magical Christmas Special, Untitled Peanuts Mother's Day Special, Untitled Peanuts Earth Day Special, Untitled Peanuts New Year's Eve Special, Untitled Back to School Special. So they got a lot of things in the works. They got a lot of things currently going for them and a lot of things in the works. Unfortunately, if they keep making decisions like they're doing by taking certain things and not allowing at least some kind of deal to be made where, you know, not only can you see the specials on the service, but you could still watch them the way you used to watch them, the same with shows and movies or whatever, then you're not doing yourself any favors in the subscription department. Yeah, they may have a lot of subscribers right now, and they may have a lot of content currently available and on the rise. But if they make the decisions they keep doing of, oh, you want that piece of Americana of Charlie Brown Christmas that you used to watch on CBS and then later ABC, too bad. You're going to have to subscribe to Apple Plus to see it. But don't worry, if you don't want to subscribe yet, we're giving you a free trial, and then maybe you'll subscribe. I know it's the way things going right now. I even talked about this. You know, John Campy even talked about this. We may not like it, but it's just the way things are right now. And this is what happens when you make a deal. When you make a deal with a streaming service, licensing and everything, this is the deal and the risk that you take. So if they don't want to be the next victim, they got to fix things. They got to fix some of these decisions that they make. They got to go out and make some deals with networks and say, look, we'll let you have this special once again on your network, but in exchange, you got to have these people promote our service, or you got to promote our service during the special or whatever. Hello, Details. Nice to see you in the chat. And again, super chats are on, guys. If you want to help contribute, it's up to you. As far as the spinoffs go, I think, Johnny, I think the spinoffs will happen in the near future, but I think we're probably going to have to wait until at least after the third season of DuckTales is over to get any true confirmation. I think we are going to get Darkwing, and I think we will get Rescue Rangers, but we'll have to probably wait until after the season is over. Anyway, like I said, if they go out and make deals to where, hey, we'll allow this to be we'll allow this to be aired back on your network or on your cable channel, as long as in exchange you promote our service during its broadcasting, then if they do something like that, they'll be fine. But if they keep exclusivity, easy for me to say, as long as they keep exclusivity to a lot of these things that they've made deals to have the licensing to, they're not going to survive. I mean, they have, like I said, they have a decent lineup of movies, shows, specials, and everything currently right now on the service and upcoming. But if they keep making decisions like what they did with the Peanuts, Charlie Brown and Gang, and then other stuff that people may be fans of, they're not doing themselves any favors. They're not doing themselves any favors in the long run. They're not. So in my opinion, unless eternally they start shaping up and realizing, oh, we need to get more subscribers, but how do we persuade people to come try us out? Oh, I know. Let's take the complaints they had about these things that we took away from them, put them back where they were, make some kind of deal to where these networks will still show them. These networks will show them again, but in exchange, they'll advertise our service. Unless internally they make that kind of move, they may be on a high rise now, but in the next couple of years, I could see a nosedive, and that's not going to be pretty. They might be able to survive, but what's going to happen is they're going to start selling off a lot of programming that is either the original programming through them or is licensed programming that they got from elsewhere just to financially survive. They're going to have to basically, make some sacrifices to stay afloat. Now, yeah, I understand Apple has a lot of money. The Apple Corporation has a lot of money. But the thing is, you keep making decisions like they keep making decisions like they're doing, not just with Peanuts, but like I said, with other programming and stuff that people are used to seeing elsewhere. Then again, you're not doing your service. You're doing a disservice to your service, period. And you're doing a disservice to any potential future subscribers you want to bring in. So to me, I think honestly, long story short, unless they change up some things internally and make some deals to where people can watch specials like Charlie Brown Christmas, Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown Thanksgiving, and all that back on regular television at the same time that you could also watch it on Apple Plus streaming networks. If they can make some kind of deal, like I mentioned, to where they can allow that to happen in exchange that their service gets promoted, at the same time, then, and not just with Peanuts, but with any other programming, then I just don't see them doing so well in the next couple of years. I mean, Apple, like from a computer and a phone perspective and all that, I could see them still surviving and selling very well with these, but I don't see them but I don't see the streaming service that they brought in doing so well in the long run unless they make some decisions internally that's going to benefit them positively. So honestly, what I'm trying to say, guys, is I believe that unless they shape up internally within the company, especially with the streaming division, and make a deal to where not just the Peanuts, but other shows and specials people are used to seeing outside of Apple Plus TV can go back to the regular television in exchange for some kind of promotion of the service, then I can definitely see Apple Plus TV going down the same path as Quibi. I can. It won't be as quickly as Quibi, but I could see them going down within the next several years. If they don't make some kind of decisions that'll help them out positively. So yeah. Right now they're on a high note, but unless they keep making decisions like they're doing now, I don't see them surviving the next several years. I mean, streaming service wise, that division's going to go down, and they're going to have to keep relying back. They're just going to have to go back to what's brought them to the dance, and that's just relying on their products. So that's just my opinion. I could be wrong, but that's just my opinion. All right, so number four, the original cast of characters from My Little Pony Friendship is Magic to appear in MLPG 5 movie? Well, okay, so apparently according to Dr. Wolf, he reported this today. He uploaded a video today where he talked about news going around that the original cast of characters were going to show up in G5. That's an interesting scenario. Seeing as though that Tara Strong basically said that, in my opinion, Twilight Sparkle, her mainly as Twilight Sparkle, was not coming back. Didn't mean that the character wasn't coming back, just the voice actress, in my opinion, wasn't going to reprise Twilight Sparkle. So, this is interesting news because if reports are that they want to focus the movie and Generation 5 on a new cast of characters, how is the original cast going to play into this? Now, Dr. Wolf brought up several scenarios as to how he sees it playing in, and he basically feels that maybe having the original cast of characters appearing, every now and then in the series, and maybe making an appearance, maybe doing a crossover deal with the G5 characters to kind of be like a passing of the torch deal in the movie could work. Don't know if they're going to get a majority, except for Tara Strong, a majority of the original voice cast back to voice them. But it will be an interesting scenario to see exactly how they pull this off. Now, here's the thing that he also brought up. He also brought up the fact that it doesn't mean that basically, it doesn't mean basically that it's going to be the main 7 or the main 8. It could be any other characters, from MLP, not just Friendship is Magic. He even brought up the idea that we could see characters from G1. Does that mean G5 is going to set us up for alternate reality deal, multi-universe deals, like a lot of people are doing nowadays? That would be something. That would be an interesting take in direction for My Little Pony to go down. That G5 is going to now deal with multiple universes and Friendship is Magic is going to be looked at as just one of those multiple universes. Who's to say? Who's to say? It'd be quite interesting to see if that's the direction they go in. But yeah, I don't really know. Oh, I don't know what to make of this. I mean, it's great to hear that we could get the original cast back, but what cast are we going to get? Are we going to get the original main 7, main 8 cast from Friendship is Magic? Will we get the original cast or some original cast characters from G1? What are we going to get? It's going to be really interesting. So it's something to really ponder and speculate on. But I think the most likely scenario will be we're going to get the original cast of the main 6, the main 7, main 8, if you will. And it'll be done movie-wise. If they appear in the movie, I think it'll be done like a passing of the torch deal. Like they'll join them on the adventure, and when the adventure's done, that leads us into the series. They'll be passing. That's when at the end of the movie, I think that's when they're going to will be the passing of the torch, in my opinion. But yeah, it's really something to think about and ponder, and keep an eye out for. But yeah, it definitely makes me want to go see the movie when it comes out. So anyway, moving on to our next topic, number 5, and gonna have to drink some water here for a second, guys. Get my glasses on, and I'll be right back. Gotta take a little bit of an eye break. Be right back. No. Okay, guys, I'm back. Now on to number 5, our 5th topic, 2021, the return of Saturday morning cartoons? Yeah, you heard me right. Apparently 2021 is going to be the return of Saturday morning cartoons. Now, in case you guys don't know, Saturday morning cartoons, I'm trying to find the year that they ended. Here we go. Saturday morning cartoon. That might be it. See, decline. And see. Let me check this again. But yeah, it's been about, according to this, it's hard to believe if it's true. It ended in 2014. Yeah. 2014 is when Saturday morning cartoons officially ended. It's 2014. Let's see what Gizmodo says. So, yeah, this was October 4th. So, basically the final day in September of 2014. Basically, that was the final day of Saturday morning cartoons officially, and that was because the final holdout was the CW, the Vortex block that they had, and basically after that was done, that was done. And I'll kind of show you what I mean. I'm going to make sure I get this date right. Let's see. September. Yeah, it was September 27th. September 27th, 2014 is when the last day, last Saturday ever, that Saturday morning cartoons came out. Now, a lot of companies or a lot of syndicated places tried to keep Saturday mornings going. They tried somehow, with different blocks from, DIC Entertainment and stuff like that. So they tried. They tried to keep it going, but it just was not enough, as far as I know. Yeah, Saturday morning cartoons did not do well, honestly, and it was hard. It was hard for a lot of us to even imagine that was it. 2014 was it. I mean, again, there are some places that tried to keep it going. Retro TV, the Retro Television Network tried to um, keep it going. It says here that as of 2019, Retro carries the Houndcats and the Barclays, two Day Palais Folie entertainment cartoons from the 70s on its Saturday morning lineup, in addition to its E/I liabilities. So basically, they have something going on. They have something going on. So this says shows currently airing on there are, let's see, Midgets, no. There's no. Dogtails, no. Nope. Houndcats is on there. Hot Wheels. No. The Silver Shadow. Oh, Perils of Penelope Pit Stops on there? Okay. That's Hanna-Barbera's got something on there. See, so they do have some Saturday mornings. They do have some cartoons, and everything. So they do have that going for them. I just don't know if they showcase here where I'm at. So yeah, Retro Television Network is like one of the places that's still trying to keep Saturday morning cartoons going, if you will. So let's see if there's anything here. No, the closest we got is Los Angeles, Lucille Valley, Redding, and Santa Barbara. Oh, my dad's got it in Topeka, Kansas. Who knew? But yeah, there are some places that are still trying to hold out, if you will. Like I said, they have they have the Hound Cats, which I've never heard of. Be honest with you, created by Joe Ruby and Ken Spears. Oh, mama, there's your answer. So yeah, I've never heard of this. I have to look it up, but yeah, the places are still trying to do it, but it's just not the same. You know what I'm saying, to what we're used to, because a lot of these programs are stuff that never really, I think, got a they never really got a how do I put it? A lot of these programs that they're showing never, they got some exposure, but they never got too much exposure. That was the thing. So you got retro television TV trying to keep that going. You got Tele Exitos is still trying to do something, I think, but it's with things like He-Man and She-Ra. Let's see. You had kids. You had this TV that had Kids Click for a while. And so again, you had a lot of places, even as early as last year, if not previously, that were trying to keep Saturday morning cartoons going. And unfortunately, they didn't succeed. The only one that so far has succeeded, from what I could tell, is Retro TV. But again, they got shows like the Barkleys and the Houndcats that I've never really heard of, and I grew up. So, I've never heard of them, honestly. So it says here that Filmcrest Media Group released the Barkleys and the Houndcats, a 2 DVD classic animation set, on DVD in Region 1. The collection features all 13 episodes of the series on DVD for the very first time. So I have to really look into that. But like I said, you do have something like Retro TV that's trying to, bring it, trying to keep some kind of vibes going on. Well, again, the reason I bring up the topic of 2021 being the return of Saturday morning cartoons is because it looks like Retro TV is not going to be alone anymore in the Saturday morning business. No. See, Retro TV may have a decent lineup of shows. Again, I don't know exactly what the Saturday morning lineup consists of. I don't know what the Saturday morning lineup consists of, honestly. Again, I don't know what it consists of. That's the thing. So, trying to see here. Come on. Yeah, but and again, some of these series actually are like from Canada and Australia, so they're new to us, but they're new to us, except not totally new, because we can probably find them on the internet. But yeah, a lot of these shows, like I said, are just, we've heard of them, but we may have heard of them, but barely, And again, I don't know exactly what the Saturday morning lineup consists of. Maybe somebody in the comments can tell me. And hello, Jordan, again. Welcome into the chat. But yeah, again, these are just shows that I've never really heard of, but I will give them credit. what the Saturday morning consists of. Like, I'm sure Superman, the Max Fleischer cartoons are on the Saturday morning, along with the Barkleys and the Hound Cats. But again, I don't get this. I don't get the station out here. So unless somebody in the comments can tell me what that lineup is like, I'd be appreciative. Fall Star Playhouse, I'm pretty sure it's on Saturday mornings there, but again, not really know much about it. But the reason, again, I bring this all up is because it seems they won't be alone in the Saturday morning factor, because it has been reported recently that Saturday morning cartoons are making another they're making a comeback in 2021. Sort of. Basically, what I was trying to say is MeTV is throwing their hat into the equation and joining the likes of Retro TV or Retro TV Network, RTN, by bringing back some Saturday morning stuff from the past. Now, I do have the article right here. I actually had to copy and paste the wording because it didn't want to print right. But this is what it says. And let me get some water here first before I do that. Okay. So what it says here, and I quote, MeTV announces hosted morning classic shows, quote, tune in with me, unquote, for 2021. That's right. That's what they call it. The morning's classic show will be called Tune In With Me. Now, it states, and I quote, the article states, and I quote, the MeTV network, America's #1 classic television network, that depends on who you ask, announces the launch of the new original morning show, Tune In With Me. The weekday 1-hour hosted series, well, it'll be a weekday series, not Saturday mornings, but the weekday 1-hour hosted series will feature original comedy sketches, special guests, interviews, games, and more. Produced to lead in to many of the greatest classic cartoons shorts ever made. Let me reread that, and I quote, the MeTV network, America's #1 classic television network, depending on who you ask, announces the launch of the new original morning show, Tune In With Me. The weekday 1-hour hosted series will feature original comedy sketches, special guests, interviews, games, and more. Produced to lead into many of the greatest classic cartoons shorts ever. Also announced is the launch of Saturday Morning Cartoons, a 3-hour cartoon block of animated favorites. That's good right there. Now, continuing on. Designed to appeal to viewers of all ages, Tune In With Me is scheduled to debut on MeTV in January 2021, with the show host and character cast performing in segments produced around timeless and beloved cartoons, starring Warner Brothers superstars Bugs Bunny, Daffy Duck, Porky Pig, Tweety, Roadrunner, and the many other favorites from the Merry Melodies and Looney Tunes shorts. In addition, the theatrical cartoon library of MGM shorts that includes Tom and Jerry, Droopy Dog, and Tex Avery catalog will be part of the show. Also included are the original Popeye cartoons from Max Fleischer. In all, the library includes more than 1,000 cartoons that will be seen on MeTV. I wonder if part of the Popeye cartoons will be Polly Woo Woos. I think it will be. It says, quote, this is what Neil Saban has said. This is the vice chairman of LG Broadcasting said. And I quote, this is what Neil Saban said. Tune In With Me will invoke the hosted children's shows of decades past, blending nostalgia, fun, charm, comedy, and cartoons reimagined with new original live-action characters. It all adds up to a new program for viewers of all ages, ready to share the fun and positive energy together weekday mornings. That's what it says. It says it adds all up it all adds up to a new program for viewers of all ages ready to share the fun and positive energy together weekday mornings. Now, this is what's interesting. Who's going to be a part of it? Chicago-born actor, writer, comic, and personality Bill Leaf has been named the host of Tune In With Me. Leaf is a pop culture and classic TV fanatic who studied improvisation at Chicago's Second City Theater, performed stand-up comedy nationwide in clubs and on national television, hosted several successful radio shows, appeared in films including Major League and Major League 2, and has interviewed some of the biggest names in Hollywood film television. Now, it also states, also joining the Tune In With Me cast are performers Kevin Fleming and Leah Goldstein. Kevin Fleming and Leah Goldstein. Fleming is a writer, actor, and improviser whose comedy writing credits include the Warner Bros. Animation series, The New Looney Tunes, airing on Boomerang. Okay, airing. Oh, okay. This is what I was looking for. Other animated writing credits include The Tom and Jerry Show, Be Cool Scooby-Doo, Lego City Adventures, and Woody Woodpecker. Leah is an actor, writer, and comedian who has performed as part of the Second City Touring Company. She recently co-wrote and starred in the romantic parody film Love Dump and has hosted the streaming game show Role Models. Okay. So looks like they got some talented people behind this, some talented personalities. Now, concluding, this is where they talk about the Saturday Morning Cartoons block. Saturday Morning Cartoons is a 3-hour all cartoons all the time block reminiscent of the Saturday morning broadcast of the past. Each hour will present a collection of cartoons featuring Popeye and Friends, Tom and Jerry, Looney Tunes, and Merry Melodies. Saturday Morning Cartoons is also scheduled to debut in early 2021. So that's actually pretty interesting that MeTV is getting into this revival, or at least the attempted revival of Saturday morning cartoons, which is pretty cool. And again, they actually got sounds like talented people hosting the weekday morning variety show Tune In With Me, which is going to consist of classic cartoons, so the Looney Tunes, Merry Melodies, MGM, Hanna-Barbera, if you will, Tex Avery, and Popeye. Now, they mainly say Max Fleischer Popeye, but I don't think it'll just be Max Fleischer. I think they're going to get the King Feature Syndicate ones as well. So expect Polly Voo Woos in the olive melting into a puddle of butter deal. Expect that in there. So yeah, it's actually pretty interesting that it's not just interesting, it's pretty exciting that they're going to do this. And as far as the Saturday morning lineup goes, the fact that they're going to go Popeye and Friends, Tom and Jerry Show, Looney Tunes, and Merry Melodies, hyping it up as being Saturday mornings of reminiscent of the past. It sounds like the past that they're talking about is the early 80s, mostly 70s, early 80s. That's what it sounds like, mostly 70s, early 80s. So that's really cool. And I know some people may not think this is going to last or anything. Well, you know what? Things have changed in 7 years, haven't they? In 6 years right now, but in 7 years next, in January. 6.5 starting in January. But things have changed. The FCC is not focusing on the YT anymore. I guess there's less restraints or something. I don't know what's going on. But if you have Retro TV, Retro Television Network, NTV, or RNTN, and now MeTV coming out and saying, hey, we want to get back into Saturday, we want to revive and bring back Saturday mornings, then I'm all for it. I'm all for it because when you think about it, what they're promoting, Me TV, that is, these are Saturday mornings that honestly anybody grew up with in the 70s and the 80s. They're used to this kind of stuff. I think, in conclusion, what they should do to really add to the nostalgia of this, the classicness of this, is do what TV Land did at one time. See, TV Land, I don't know if they're still around. I think they are. But TV Land used to always air the very old classic commercials of the decade of the programming they were showing. So if they were showing shows from the 50s, early 60s, they would show commercials from that time period. Same with the 70s and the 80s. They would do that. Hold on for a sec. But like I said, I was just checking my dog there. She's fine. She's just snoring. But anyway, these are the kind of shows I used to. But oh yeah, what was I saying? Oh yeah, basically, when TV Land used to do that, when they used to air the classic stuff, they would air the commercials and stuff and advertisements from that decade. And they would do it. If it was 50s to 60s, they would air commercials and advertisements from that time period. Same with the 70s and even up to the 80s. So the thing is this going to be something that might be, could this be something that they could look into or they could do themselves? I think they could. I think to add into that nostalgia, you need to kind of put in some classic, maybe toy commercials to kind of let kids nowadays see exactly what was the hot item at that time period. So to me, I think it's a great idea. I think it's a great idea that we're getting this, and I can't wait. I'll be honest with you. They don't give us a specific date in early 2021 as exactly when Saturday morning cartoons is going to come out. I would assume it's going to be the same month as Tune In With Me. But when they do make that date, I'll be honest with you, I'll probably set my alarm and I'll get up just to actually kind of even if it's for one Saturday, have that classic nostalgia feel of Saturday morning cartoons once again, but it'll be fun. It'll actually be a fun day to look forward to. So yeah, 2021 looks like we're seeing the return of Saturday morning cartoons. Even though some will say Retro Television Network is already doing it, there's a lot of people that don't get Retro Television Network and with their affiliate over-the-air affiliate. So this is a blessing. This is a blessing in disguise, and I cannot wait for the day for the official release date to, like I said, set my alarm, get up, get a bowl of cereal, sit down, and just be like, it may be for one day, for one morning, but I'm watching Saturday morning cartoons again. And I know people are going to say, well, you can watch Saturday morning cartoons anytime. And that's true. I mean, you want to talk about cartoons? This is one episode of the classic DuckTales. Well, Huey, Dewey, and Louie, they want to get an advancement in their allowance, but Scrooge has a specific date always picked out for when they get it, which is Saturday. So they basically got to trick him into thinking it's Saturday. So they switch the dates and everything. Long story short, their decision making almost causes a catastrophe, if you know what I mean. So basically, they switch. So basically, what they do to get that advancement is they take a VHS tape of recorded Saturday morning cartoons and they put it into their VCR, and they end up watching it just to throw him off. But yeah, I know people could say, well, you could do the same thing with streaming and all that. Now, that's true, but there's nothing like watching authentic Saturday morning programming as it airs on Saturday mornings. You know what I'm saying? And this here is to me, like I say, a blessing in disguise. So anyway, yeah, 2021, it looks like hold on for a sec. Sorry, guys, just checking something again. But like I said, it looks like 2021 is the return of Saturday morning cartoons with Me TV, which is much more received and much more showcased in homes. And can't wait. Can't wait. Let me know what you guys think of it down below. And now on to our next topic. I think it's our final topic. It is. And that topic is, are people getting used to VOD releases of movies and thus perhaps dooming the movie theater business? Okay, so I wanted to bring this up, and I already know, and Jordan's already given me an answer to that. Jordan has actually come out and said that he says, honestly, movie theaters going out of business, he doesn't see that happening, and that the only reason they're not opening is because of the pandemic, and nobody's not going to go to a theaters just to get sick. That's insane, which I agree with him. A lot of people don't want to take that chance, but you are getting theaters to reopen at certain capacities. You know what I'm saying? I mean, recently here in Stanislaus County, which is consisting of Newman, Patterson, Modesto, place Turlock, basically movie theaters have reopened, but they're only reopened, I think, at 25% capacity, which is like 100 people or so. So at least people are able to go out and enjoy a movie if the movie theater is open. I mean, my sister recently went to Riverbank because their theater is open. I think they're part of Stanislaus County as well, to go see a movie. Now, with that said, though, are people getting used to the VOD releases of movies at home? Is that dooming the movie theater business? No, it's not. I mean, I know a lot of people coming out here, Clownfish TV, John Campa, several others are coming out and saying, "Oh, the theater business, the cinema business is it's not going to be, it's not going to survive much longer. This company's not going to survive. That company's not going to survive. This and that, that. And look, and I don't mean to make fun of them like that. I do apologize. No offense. But, and everybody has a right to their opinion. But here's the thing. Theaters have been in this predicament before. They've been in financial problems before, but they've always bounced back. Regal right now, a lot of people are saying, is taking the smart strategy by not, being open and waiting until at least there's some kind of clearance. All right. They'll wait until some kind of clearance or some kind of like vaccine or whatever is made. Now, I'm totally fine with that. But here's why people, like I said, are getting used to VOD releases of movies at home. Now, like I said, it's not dooming the movie theater business, because there's a lot of studios, including NATO, that's the National Association of Theater Owners, that pretty much don't want to see the movie theater business go make a big old nosedive. So there's a lot of movies that are still being held back until there's total clearance. At least I would say a 25% to 50% clearance of, okay, go and do it. Reopen, go ahead. They're waiting until they get that kind of positive indication of things are cool. And it might be a while, but there are a lot of movies that are still being held for theatrical release. Now, are a lot of consumers, moviegoers upset by that? Absolutely. Because they were waiting, they made plans, believe it or not, to want to go on opening day to see that movie, opening weekend to go see that movie. And now they got to wait another couple of months, if not another year, a whole year until that movie is released. Now, here's the thing. Why do I bring this up? Are people getting used to VOD releases of movies at home? Why am I bringing that up? I'll tell you why. I think I mentioned this in my Wonder Woman video I did, my overview of the Wonder Woman collection I have from movies and stuff. And in that video, it was just my dog. She's just sniffing around my room. I think I mentioned that Patty Jenkins, and again, John Campa had to lay this to rest, or reported this to well, not laid away, but reported this to well. Patty Jenkins had to come out and debunked a rumor of the fact that Wonder Woman 84 could be VOD bound. She had to debunk that. She had to come out on the internet, on social media, and debunk it. She had to. She had to debunk that rumor by saying we are totally committed for theatrical release. But here's the thing. Why was that rumor started? It was started mainly because people were planning to go see that movie when it was scheduled to come out this past summer, if not towards the end of this year, which it may still do. But because they've been waiting for too long for this movie to come out, someone decided to make create the rumor and the speculation of, hey, it could be VOD bound. And the reason they brought it up is because, logically, they believe Warner Brothers doesn't know when they're going to be able to release the movie in theaters. They might plan for December as possibly the earliest, if not spring of 2021. But as far as they're concerned, whoever started this rumor, what sense does it make of holding it back much longer? Just put it out there. Put it out there. You could still make money. You could go the route Universal did by going premium VOD. Go the route that Disney did by going premium fee for their movie on a streaming service. You could do the same with HBO Max with this movie. And again, it's all because of the fact that they believe, in their opinion, whoever started the rumor, that Warner Brothers should know by now that they don't know when they're going to get a chance to release the movie. So why not just do the sensible thing and put it on VOD? It's because just like Disney hasn't made the announcement to do the same thing with Black Widow and several other projects, and other studios have said the same thing about some of their big movies, it's because these are movies that have to be seen on the big screen to be enjoyed. They have to be seen on an IMAX screen. They have to be seen on a 3D screen. They have to be seen on a screen that really just makes it jump out at you, makes you just go, whoa, I didn't see that coming. Or, whoa, did you feel that? It needs to be seen in an area where you get that true 7.1, 8.1 surround sound, THX surround sound. It needs that kind of experience. And a lot of studios believe that the only way you can enjoy a movie like Wonder Woman 84, Black Widow, Jurassic World, the next Jurassic World movie, whatever, is through that kind of environment. Yes, there are movies that have gone to streaming or are going to streaming, like Soul, Pixar and Disney Soul, going to streaming. Everybody thought that could still end up theatrically. Yeah, it's just my dog right there. I think I have to let her go to the bathroom a little bit, guys. But anyway, everybody thought Soul would end up, going to theaters. Like Disney kept holding it off. And then the decision was made, like, someone at Disney was like, you know what? We don't know when we're going to be able to release this in theaters. Let's just put it on Disney Plus streaming-wise. Let's just do that. And that's what happened. Excuse me, guys. I got to go let my dog out. Okay, guys, I'm back. Sorry about that. I had to let my dog out. But anyway, what was I? Oh yeah, like I said, they the thing is, they have all these movies and everything. Like I was saying, all these blockbusters, and basically, you got these studios that are like the only way you can experience them is with that surround sound, 8.1, 7.1, whatever, as well as on this big massive screen, IMAX, 10K, whatever you want to call it. Now, again, as I was mentioning before I let her out, you have Disney. People notice that Disney is releasing Soul on Disney Plus this Christmas, on Christmas Day. And people are like, why are they releasing it on Disney Plus, right? And the thing is, when people see that, and here's the thing, Disney was promoting, they were promoting Soul along with Pixar as being a big deal. But because of what's been going on, someone probably realized at Disney, hey, we can't keep holding this off for as long as we have, for much longer, because we never know when we might get a chance to put it in the theaters. So obviously the decision was made, just put it onto Disney Plus and go from there. And I think that's why I think that's what the plan was for Disney, to focus more on streaming, because if something like this ever comes up again, at least they know they have like an outlet, a back outlet for releasing the films. And when people hear about, okay, Trolls World Tour, they hear, Soul, they hear Scoob, they hear, Mulan, and now possibly the next 007 movie, the last Daniel Craig 007 movie heading to streaming, in VOD, video on demand, or premium VOD. People will start speculating, if not starting rumor. Well, basically, yeah, people will start speculating on, okay, what could be next? What could be the next film, big, medium, or small, that could end up going to VOD or streaming? And then that's, of course, why people start rumors of, hey, maybe Wonder Woman's next. Maybe if I start this rumor and say, oh, Wonder Woman, they're talking about Wonder Woman probably going to VOD. Or, oh, they're talking about Black Widow probably going to VOD. Or, oh, they're talking about the next Jurassic World movie going to VOD. You don't think those people don't know what they're doing? They do, because they become so complacent. And what I mean by complacent, they become so used to seeing the movies on the big, 55-inch to 80-inch television. The big 55-inch to 80-inch 4K, even 8K, television. So they become so accustomed to that to them, hey, why go to the movie when we could just sit at home, have a drink in our hand, a popcorn, and watch Wonder Woman 84 on our big old 75-inch 8K television. To them, it's like, why bother? Right? Why bother? So that's the only reason rumors like that Patty Jenkins had to debunk, came about, because I think people, not only are they getting impatient, but they're becoming so complacent of, I'm just going to sit, I'd rather just stay at home and watch the movie. Why go to the theaters? And what's funny? Years ago, there was a report that started of somebody thinking up an idea of selling a box. I don't know if it was a box or something like that. I think it was some kind of premium box that would allow you, from the comfort of your own home, to watch all the movies that came out in theaters, even the big blockbuster movies. Yeah, for a premium price. I don't know if it was like, I don't know how much the box was, but like for a monthly price of like what, $175, $100, I don't know. But for a monthly price, after a monthly like streaming price or whatever, you could watch all the movies released in theaters, including the big blockbuster ones. Yeah. Including movies like this. That's what they were talking about at one point. Now, I don't think that's ever come to pass. Now, honestly, I don't think that came to pass or anything. But I will say this. Had it come to pass, I will say this, what I'm trying to get at. I will say this. If you think people are complacent now because of the decision to VOD or premium VOD or direct to streaming all these movies that were supposed to be out theatrically, you think they're complacent now because they get to enjoy these movies in the comfort of their own home at any time without, getting up and probably making contact with people because of what's going on, due to what's going on right now. How do you think they would have been had that idea, that proposal that I just mentioned, come to be? It would have been worse. You want to talk about doing the movie theater business, the cinema business, that decision would have done it. That decision right there would have done it. So, overall, oops. So, overall, Do I think the movie business is do I think the movie theater business is doomed? Do I think people getting used to watching VOD releases of movies at home, are going to be the cause of it? No. No, I don't, because like I said, we've seen movie cinemas, theaters, and the National Association of Theater Owners knows this. We've seen theaters and all that end up in this kind of a situation before. We've seen them end up in this situation before, and they've bounced back. And I think that's why Regal, according to many, has made the right decision to hold off on fully reopening until they get the okay overall to do so that when they do, they can hopefully they'll get a slew of big blockbusters, released into the theater, that through those ticket sales of those blockbuster films, they can make up what they lose, or make up what they would have lost financially. So, yeah, despite what, with all due respect, and I say this, despite what Clownfish TV, John Campa, or anybody else says, I don't think the movie theater business is going anywhere. I don't think AMC is going to be in trouble that much. I don't think Regal's going to be in that trouble that much. Cinemark, anybody. I think they'll be fine. I think just right now, people have become so complacent and used to watching these movies that were originally meant for theaters in the comfort of their own homes now, that they pretty much are figuring, what's the point of waiting any longer for a Wonder Woman 84 or a Black Widow or whatever, to come out to theaters. So honestly, I don't think, like I said, people getting used to VOD releases of movies at home, I don't think it's going to doom the movie theater business. I think the movie theater business is going to be fine, and that's really about it. That's all I could say on it. But yeah, I don't think cinemas are going to lose any money. I don't think Regal or AMC or any of them are going to lose any money in the long run. I think they're going to be fine. I think mainly what it is just people are getting sick and tired of waiting. They want movies now. They want new stuff now. And, they want the big blockbusters now. But they got to put themselves in the shoes of the studios that are planning to release them and realize, hey, they want to make money off these movies. They don't want to have to just give them away for free. And if they have to put them on streaming, why don't, they don't want to have to worry about, okay, well, that's $39 a rental or whatever. They don't want to have to worry about that. They want to make money in a much bigger, more lucrative way than just premium VOD on demand or some kind of premium fee to watch the movie whenever you want as part of your service. So no, I don't think it's going to doom the movie business. I think the movie business is going to be fine. So anyway, though, guys, that's going to do it. That's pretty much going to do it for today's topics on my mind for Monday, the last Monday in October, October 26, 2020, 5 days away from Halloween. And that's so, yeah, thank you all for joining me in the live chat. Thank you all for joining me in the comment section below after you've watched the post live stream, basically after it's been uploaded. Let me know what you guys all think about what I've had to say here. Tune in. Basically, keep an eye out for more videos to come. Also, support my Brian's Discussions channel. Help me get to 1,000 subscribers there. Also, check out my Patreon and my Vimeo and my other podcasts. There will be links provided. Go to the About section here on my YouTube page. Scroll down, and you will see the links to my Patreon, which is $1 a month, not much, as well as links to my Vimeo and other places, other areas where you could find me as well. And that's all I can really say, guys. So thank you all for watching. Comment down below if you like after you've watched this post live stream. Thank you to those joining me in the live chat. And you all have a good day. Stay safe. Take care. Yeah, have a good rest of your Monday. And I will talk to you all next time. Peace out. God bless.